Hello, welcome back to Life Enrichment with Hank Ballinger. Today I want to go over the idea of no more 9 to 5. Can you quit your job? Now, before I proceed, I want to make it perfectly clear that there is nothing wrong with having a job, okay? I don't want to seem like I'm negative to jobs. You know, a lot of people make money. You know, some people do anything for money, like work. So that's a good thing. So nothing wrong with a job, but for those who might like to get out of the job, out of the 9 to 5, being there every day, working for somebody else, for those who might like to get out of that, maybe there's a solution. Now, if you're planning on quitting your job at some point, maybe you can get enough real estate, or you can come up with an idea, or maybe you can, start your own business. Then at some point, depending on how far you get along in that business or that endeavor, you're going to at some point have to quit the job you have now to start that job and to get more involved. So at some point you've got to quit that job. Now, don't do the Charlie Daniels method. Charlie Daniels had a song, for those who may not remember him. He had a song years ago talking about he'd like to spit some beech nut in that dude's eye. Probably not the way you want to do it. If you're going to quit your job, don't burn the bridge. You may have to go back. So if you do, you want to make sure that you have a good relationship, good standings with that job that you left. So make sure you don't burn a bridge there. So how can you quit the job that you currently have? Well, you can't just walk out and say, I'm going to start a business and start from scratch when you have no income. So let me show you a possibility. Perhaps you say, well, I would like to get a single family home, or maybe several single family homes. And once I get enough, then I can quit my job. Let's look at how that might play out. A possibility. There are many possibilities as we go through here. You're going to see that there are many possibilities that could happen. But let's look at one. Let's say you find a single family home, somebody wanting to sell it, and they're asking $100,000 for that single family home. Now, at the 1% rule, if they're asking $100,000, remember, it needs to be bringing in $1,000 a month. We'll get back to this in a little bit. So if you're going to buy a $100,000 house, a lot of banks will say, well, you have to put down 20%, meaning you would have to come out of pocket with $20,000. If that is the way it is, then you would have $80,000 mortgaged or leveraged, a loan from the bank. Now banks right now are charging about 7% interest. So if you had a loan from the bank at 7%, amortized on 25 years, your payment each month would be $565.42 that you would have to pay the bank each month. Your taxes is roughly going to be about $45. Your insurance is going to be $65. Now remember, how do you get the taxes? It's about 1% of what you purchased the property for. So you take the 1% rule, which is about 10,000 or 1,000, divide that by the 12 months, and you're going to have about $85,000 a month that you got to pay. Or, I'm sorry, $85 a month that you would have to pay for taxes, or just keep that back until October and then pay your taxes. Insurance is about 3/4 roughly of what the taxes are. Your garbage, roughly, if this is a home and you're renting it out, is going to be $20, 15 or 20. Now, if at all possible, make the tenant pay that. Generally, in a single family home, that's the tenant's responsibility, not the landlord. And your maintenance, roughly $100. Now again, we don't have any vacancies on here, nor do we have any utilities. A lot of times when you're getting a single family residence or a single family home, the tenant pays the utilities, and we don't allow for vacancies. We don't have it on here. You may have some vacancies from time to time, so you would have to allow for that. But let's just say, if you bought the home for $100,000, and all of this is your expenses, your debt service to the bank, your taxes, insurance, garbage, and maintenance is $835.42. Your income, remember, was $1,000. You take the $835.42 away, you're left with $164.58 a month. Now, obviously, you can't quit your job probably if you only have one of these homes. But let me ask you, let's just say that the average person said, okay, in order to quit my job, I need $2,000 a month. And if I get $2,000 a month, maybe your wife works or maybe you're just living very small, either way, fine. But if you need $2,000 a month and you're making $164 out of this single family residence, then if you take the $2,000 a month that you need and divide that by 164 that you're getting for this home, you would have to have 12.15 of these homes, a little over 12 of these homes. Now, is that possible? Very possible. Yes. Could you buy 12 of these? Yes, it happens. On the down payment, you may say, well, if I bought 12 of these, that's over $200,000. Remember, you can do some owner finance, get very creative. You can buy one, fix it up, leverage off of it to buy the second one, leverage off the second one to buy the third one, off the third one to buy the fourth one. It's called daisy chaining or the Burr method. So you could get money from somewhere, get creative. Now here you need 12 homes, but let's look at another option. Let's say you said, well, I don't want 12 homes because if I have a tenant move out of one home, I lose 100% of the income on that property. That's true, but if you have 12, then the other 11 can kind of soften the blow. But let's say you're the type, you say, well, I'd rather do multifamily rather than single homes. Nothing wrong with single homes. A lot of people have gotten very wealthy on single family homes. A lot of people have gotten wealthy on multifamily. But let's look at a multifamily. Let's say someone's got a multifamily for sale and they're asking $1 million for it. Now at the 1% rule, it needs to be bringing in $10,000 a month. Now, if it's bringing in $10,000 a month, you can say, well, I can quit my job because I only need 2 and I'm bringing in 10. Not quite. Remember, you got a lot of expenses here. That's what a lot of people, when they're thinking, I want to buy me one single family or a multifamily, I'm going to buy one building and I'm quitting my job and I'm going to live like a king the rest of my life. If you can do that, more power to you, and get in touch with me because I'd love to find out how you do that. Generally doesn't happen. So let's say you get a multifamily. They're asking $1 million. And let's say you have $200,000, you put that down, and the bank says, we will loan you the $800,000 on that. So you're going to have a debt service with the bank, and remember the interest rate right now is around 7%. And you am that on 25 years here. Let's say you put it on 25 years, the debt service payment to the bank would be $5,655. Your taxes is going to be $835 a month. Your insurance is going to be $630 a month. Your garbage is $70 a month. And your maintenance is $1,400 a month. Now, where did I get the $1,400 a month? Well, let's look at this. What I did is I tried to figure out how much your rent would need to be, and looking at common rents today, I own some rental property. So if you look at $1 million property, about how many units would you have and what are the rents? If you look at each unit bringing in $770, which is fair in Richmond, Kentucky right now, Bigger cities, much more. Smaller cities, probably a little less. But right now we are getting about $800, maybe to $850 for a 2-bedroom. So let's say you're getting $770 a month. You can have 14 units. Now, if you get $770 a month from 14 units, that means your income is $10,780 a month. Now, again, when we go back up here, they're asking $1 million. You need it to be bringing in $10,000 a month, and you're bringing in slightly above that, $10,780, if you're getting $770 for 14 units. Now, if we have 14 units, our maintenance roughly $100 per unit per month. So there's the $1,400. So if these are your expenses, you would go up here, look at your income, $10,780. You take away your expenses. What you're left with is $2,190. Now, know a lot of people are saying, hey, I needed $2,000. I've got $2,000. I buy one property, I am done. But wait, what about if you did have a vacancy, or possibly two? If you had 2 vacancies in a month, you're out over $1,540, which consumes almost all of this. But what about if you also had a water heater or an HVAC system, heat and air unit, go out? You're going to be less than this, meaning you may have to come out of pocket that month. And not only is it going to be hard for you to come out of pocket, you were needing the $2,000 because that is your income. So what you may want to do, even with this, you may want to say, hey, I need $2,000, but I've got to have just a little bit of a buffer there. I can't just get to 2,190 or 2,000 and say, I am done, I'm quitting, because in rental property, there is always something coming up. Okay, you need to prepare yourself for that. And just remember, you can lose your shirt with real estate. You could go broke. It can happen. I will tell you this, there is nobody that has ever gotten into real estate or into any kind of business that thought they were going to go broke. But you hear of it all the time. Things happen. So if you're thinking about quitting your job, if you're thinking about maybe starting a career or starting a business, it doesn't have to be in real estate. That's just what I'm in, and it's worked well for me, and I encourage others, but there's all types of business. Maybe you want to be a writer. Maybe you want to start your own corporation. Whatever your goals are in life. That's what life is about. Setting goals and accomplishing those goals. Becoming redneck rich. It's life enrichment. You want your life to be enriched. You want to accomplish those goals. So you don't want this. If you're trying to get out of the 9 to 5, and again, I want to stress, there is nothing wrong with having a job. I had one for years. Nothing wrong with it. You can make money. There's a lot of good companies out there. But if you want to get out of this and you want to get out of the 9 to 5, start your own to where you have more control of your life, there is a way to do it. There are many ways to do it. What are your goals and how do you want to become redneck rich? Thank you.